Chapter 6, Lesson 5. Active and passive voice. Here's the idea. When a verb subject performs the action expressed by the verb is in the active voice. Look at the sentence example. A group of 16 countries constructed the International Space Station. A group of 16 countries is the performer of action. Constructed is the verb or the action in the sentence. When the subject performs the action expressed, we're using the active voice. When a verb subject receives an action expressed by the verb is in passive voice. Look at how the sentence has been rearranged to show passive voice. The International Space Station was constructed by a group of 16 countries. The International Space Station is the receiver of action and is also the subject in the sentence. The verb was constructed. This is an example of the passive voice. You want to use the passive voice only when you want to emphasize the receiver of the action or when the performer of the action is not known. Otherwise, always change passive voice to active voice. Here's 3 easy steps to do so. When you have a sentence in passive voice, the first thing you need to do is determine the verb and the performer of the action. In this example, we have the space station is being lived, which is the action in by astronauts. Astronauts is the subject that is receiving the action. Move the performer of the action before the verb and change the verb to the active voice. Astronauts is living in the space station. Once you change this, you also need to make sure that the tense of the verb matches up with the subject. So you want to change it, astronauts are living in the space station. This is an example how we've shifted passive voice to active voice. If you use the passive voice too often, it can make your writing vague and lifeless. In most scenarios, you always want to use the active voice.